Hi, good evening one and all. So in last session we had discussed on the features of the financial accounting, or you can say the accounting. Okay, so as well as we saw the meaning of accounting, and I hope all of you understand that meaning as well as the features or the characteristics or the functions of accounting. Okay, so you know that the meaning of accounting, so it is an art and the science of recording, classifying, summarizing, measuring, analyzing or communicating of financial activities of the business for the users is nothing but what's the accounting. Okay, so this meaning it will cover these whatever the three or the four lines are there, so it will cover the 7 marks. Okay, so 7 marks, how it is 7 marks, they will ask for the 2 marks what is the meaning of accounting, and they will ask what are the features or the characteristics of the accounting. Okay, so at that time you have to write so features like the recording, classifying, summarizing, measuring, interpreting as well as the communicating. So whatever the features are there, so these features you have to write with explanations. Okay, they will ask for the 5 marks. Okay, so I hope all of you understands. Okay, so now in this session we will see the basic terms of the accounting. Okay, so for the solution of the problems. Okay, so in the accounting we have to solve the problems. Okay, so for the solution of the problems we should know the basic terms, or you can say the basic terminology of accounting. Okay, so now see, there are so many basic terms are there. So, okay, lots of basic terms are there in the accounting. Okay, so we will see one by one. Okay, so first one is a what, entity. Okay, first one is a what, entity. So what am I entity? Just see, it means an area of economic interest of a particular industry or group of industries. Okay, so entity means what? It is one of the particular industry or group of industry. It means what? Definitely it having the physical existence is nothing but what's entity. Okay, for example, just like the Reliance Mall, it has the physical existence. Okay, so Big Bazaar, okay, or the Kalyani Jewelers. Okay, so like this, whatever the physical existence is. Okay, so it is exact what the definite whatever the physical existence is there, what is the industry or a particular industry or a group of industry is nothing but what the entity. Okay, so next, business transaction. Okay, so now see what is my business transaction, an event which involves exchange of value between two or more entities is transaction. It can be purchased stationery, receipts of money, incurring expenses, etc. It can be cash or credit transactions. Okay, so now see what are my business transactions. Business transactions means what? The exchange of monies or money's worth. Okay, monies or the money's worth between the two entities. Okay, between the two entities means what? Between the two businesses or between the two enterprises. Okay, so it, or you can say the business, the transactions between the what, exchange between the monies or money's worth between the business and its customer is nothing but what, the business transactions. But it should be exchange the money or money's worth. Okay, it should be exchange the money or money's worth. Okay, so it's nothing but the business transactions. Okay, and in the business there are so many transactions are taking place at a day. Okay, at one day. Okay, so there are so many transactions means what, there are lakhs as well as the crores transactions are taking place. They are selling, purchasing, credit transactions, sell credit transactions, cash transactions, like this there are so many transactions are taking place in the business. Okay, so now there are two types of the transactions. Okay, so now which are those two types of the transactions? Cash transactions and the credit transactions. Okay, so now see what in by cash transactions, when business purchases goods, what, when business purchases goods as well as services and immediately they are paying the cash to the suppliers is nothing but what, cash transactions. Okay, so also we are in our day to day's life we are making so many cash transactions. Okay, so cash transactions means what, goods purchased or goods purchased or goods buying or services and immediately we are going to pay the cash to the suppliers is nothing but what, cash transactions. Okay, so now what am by credit transaction? Credit transaction means what, we are purchasing goods and services but we are paying cash in a future date. Okay, we are paying in a cash in a future date is nothing but what? Credit transactions. It means what? Immediately we are not paying the cash to the suppliers is nothing but what? Credit transactions. Okay, so next, capital. So now see, this is very important in the business. Okay, so in the accountancy, this is very main concepts. Okay, so now see the capital. So now what impact capital? Capital means what? It means that amount or assets which is invested in business by businessman or owner of business. Okay, so now see, capital means what? When you are going to start a business, what? When we are going to start a business, at that time whatever we money invested, okay, while starting the business, whatever the money is required or whatever the asset is required, asset means whatever the material is required, so is nothing but what? Capital for the business. Okay, so while starting a business and the owner of business going to invest some money is nothing but what? Capital. Okay, so now X person is there and this X persons want to start a business. Okay, so which type of business? Suppose manufacturing business, he want to start a manufacturing business. Okay, so before starting, whatever the material is required, whatever the money is requires, okay, and he whatever they requires they are giving, or they are putting to start a business, so it's nothing but what? Capital. Whatever they are going to put or whatever they are going to give the monies to start, so it's nothing but what? Investment, and investment is nothing but the capital while starting a business. Okay, so this is about the capital. So in the next slides, assets. Okay, so just see what is the assets. Assets are those items that have monetary value and owned by a business. Okay, owned by a business. Okay, so now see, asset means what? Whatever the business having the property or the wealth of the business is nothing but what? Assets. Okay, so assets means what? Whatever they having the property or the wealth is nothing but the assets for the business. Okay, so now see, there are two types of the assets, and which are those two types? Fixed assets and the current assets. Okay, so now see, what in by fixed assets? Fixed asset means what? The assets having with the business for the long time purpose. Okay, for the long time purpose, and these assets, whatever the business having the assets, and these assets are giving benefits for long term purpose. Okay, for the long term purpose is nothing but the fixed assets. Okay, for example of the fixed asset is what? Machinery, building, land, furniture. Okay, and the furniture includes what? Table, chairs. Okay, so whatever the furniture is, it will come under the fixed assets. Okay, so machinery, it's working long time purpose, it means working more than 5 years. Okay, land, it's a permanent. Okay, building is also permanent. Okay, furniture, we taken the furniture, so we again use the furniture in long term purpose. Okay, so it means what? It is the fixed assets with the business. Okay, so now see, what in by current assets? Current asset means what? Which assets can be converted into cash within a 1 year is nothing but what? Current assets. Okay, so whatever the business is having the assets, so whatever the assets are theirs and that can be converted into money within a 1 year is nothing but what? Current assets. For example, the stock, cash, cash in hand. Okay, cash at bank balance, bills receivable, or the debtors is nothing but what? These are the examples of the current assets. Okay, so next, liabilities. So now see, what in by liabilities? Liabilities are debts that a business has to pay at some time in the future date. Okay, in the future, or you can say future date is nothing but the liabilities. So liabilities means what? It is the responsibility for the business, it is an obligation to pay to the third parties is nothing but what's? Liabilities. Okay, so this is nothing but the liabilities. So long term liabilities and there are two types of the liabilities, long term liabilities and the short term liabilities. So now see, what in long term liabilities? Long term liability means what? business has to pay to the third parties, and whatever the payment is theirs, so this payment want to pay after 1 year is nothing but the long term liabilities, and whatever short term liabilities, whatever the payment is theirs, they are making in a within 1 year is nothing but the short term liabilities. Okay, so this is about the liabilities. So next, in the next slides, what do you mean by drawings? Okay, so now see, the drawings means what? Withdraw money or goods for personal use or domestic use for the owner is nothing but what? The drawings. Okay, so drawing means what? The owner of the business. Okay, what? Owner of the business or the proprietor of the business, he is withdrawing money or the goods from business for his personal use. What? For his personal use is nothing but what's the drawings. Okay, so X person is there, and X person's having one business, and the business name is what? XYZ company. Okay, so in these companies they got the 10,000 rupees profit. Okay, they got the 10,000 rupees profit at the end of the year. Okay, so out of the 10,000, X person is withdrawing rupees 2,000. Okay, withdrawing rupees 2,000, and these 2,000s they used for his personal use. What is a personal use? For the personal use means what? To pay the college fees of his daughter or his sons. Okay, or to give the gift for his friend circles. Okay, so it means what? They're using the 2,000 for his personal use. Okay, from the business. So at that time it's called what? The drawings. Okay, drawing means what? The owner is withdrawing money or the cash or goods from the business for his personal use is nothing but what's the drawings. Okay, so next, debtors. Okay, so this is also very important concepts. Debtor means what? Debtors are persons and other entities to whom business has sold goods and services on credit and amount has not received yet. Okay, so it means what's the debtors. Okay, so debtor means what? Who owes money to the business is nothing but what? Debtors. Okay, who owes money to the business is nothing but the debtors. Okay, so for example, the X person is there and the ABC company is there. Okay, ABC company is there and the X person is there, and the ABC company sold goods to X person on credit basis. What? On credit basis. Okay, so it means what? X person has to pay to the ABC company. Okay, so it means what? X is a debtors for the business. Okay, X is a debtors for the ABC company. Okay, so this is the debtors. Okay, so now see what in by creditors. So creditors means what? Creditors is an entity or person from which business purchases goods and services on credit is nothing but what? Creditors. Okay, so now see, this is vice versa. We have to take X person is there and the ABC company is there. Okay, and the ABC company purchasing goods from X person. The X is a supplier. Okay, so ABC company purchasing raw material from the X persons on credit basis. Okay, on a credit basis. So it means what? X is a creditors for the business because business has to pay to the X person, and the X is a creditors for the business. Okay, so this is about the creditors. In the next slides, goods. Okay, goods means what? The products in which the business deal in, the items that are purchased for the purpose of resale, not for use in the business, are called goods. Okay, so goods means what? The business is buying the goods for the resale is nothing but the goods, and the goods having the physical existence. Okay, goods having the physical existence which we can see, which we can touch. Okay, so it is nothing but the goods. Okay, the business is purchasing goods for the resale is nothing but the goods, and the goods can, you can say the, it is just like the commodities. Okay, goods it is and the commodities. Okay, so next, purchases. So you know that purchases means what? Purchases means what? The buying. Okay, buy the goods and services, nothing but the purchases. Okay, so purchase is used only for the goods bought by a business for resale is nothing but the purchases. Okay, there are two types of the purchases: cash purchases and the credit purchase, credit cash purchases means what? ABC company is there and see they require the raw material, okay, while purchasing the raw material immediately they are paying the cash to the suppliers is nothing but the cash purchase. And what in by credit purchase? Credit purchase means what? They are purchasing raw material from the suppliers and they are paying in future date is nothing but what's credit purchases. Okay, so these are the, this is the credit purchase. Okay, so like this, so many basic terms or the basic terminologies of the accounting are there. Okay, so I hope these are the whatever the tens I explained, I hope you understand that. Okay, if it is you not understand any one concepts, you can contact me. Okay, thank you.